Starting a trucking business sounds simple on paper. Buy a truck, book some loads, start driving. But that's not how it works. Not in 2025. Because while the market looks open, fuel looks steady, and YouTube's full of quick success stories, the truth? Most new carriers don't make it past year one. Today on Daily Logistics, we're going under the hood to show you what really happens when you try to start your own trucking business. No hype, no half-truths, just the facts from the field, told like it actually happens. You may have 10 years behind the wheel, but the day you file for an MC number, you stop being just a driver. You become the company. And that shift, mental, legal, financial, is where most first-timers get lost. As a company driver, you clock in, haul what you're told, and go home. But when you're the one who owns the truck, everything becomes your call and your cost. The tires, the fuel, the paperwork, the routes, the rates, the customers, it's all on your shoulders. You're no longer paid to just move freight. You're paid to keep the whole business from breaking. In 2025, getting started is smoother than ever. Online portals, freight apps, e-signatures. You can register your business, get a DOT number, and sign up for insurance in a single afternoon. But none of that means you have a business model. The ones who last? They're not just filing forms, they're doing freight math. They're asking, which lanes are consistent, not just hot this week? Can I afford downtime during seasonal drops? What type of freight can I move with this truck? And at what fuel cost per mile? The smartest operators? They know the answer to those questions before they spend $1 on equipment. A truck can be leased, financed, borrowed. What can't be outsourced is the ability to run numbers, negotiate rates, and manage the margins. This is the part most new operators miss. They fall in love with the equipment, the brand, the horsepower, the dream, and forget the spreadsheet. The truth? A $60,000 used truck with clean maintenance records in a solid dry van lane beats a $200,000 brand new rig in a weak market every time. Because it's not about what you drive. It's about how much you keep after every load clears. Let's kill the fantasy real quick. Your first week will not be your best week. It'll be shaky, slow, maybe even empty. You'll spend hours scrolling load boards. You'll wait on hold for brokers who ghost you. You'll haul loads that barely cover fuel just to get your foot in the door. But that's not failure. That's market onboarding. The freight world doesn't hand out trust. You earn it by showing up, being on time, and communicating when things go sideways. The first 90 days? They're not about profit. They're about proving you can stay in the game. If you've already started your own authority, or you're leasing on right now, you know what I'm talking about. Drop yes in the comments if your first 3 months were chaos, confusion, and maybe a little caffeine-fueled desperation. And if you're just starting to explore this path, hit subscribe. This is Daily Logistics, and we're building a smarter freight community, one video at a time. Let's keep going. There's a version of trucking that looks clean. A truck, a trailer, a phone full of apps. Click, book, haul, get paid. But that's not what keeps you alive. What keeps you alive is the invisible work. Following up on unpaid invoices, submitting your BOLs correctly, knowing when to say no to a cheap load, making sure your fuel card is tied to a rebate program, logging your IFTA miles before the deadline, running a route that pays both ways, not just out. If you're not tracking those moves every week, you're not running a business, you're just gambling in freight clothes. At some point, the thought will hit you. I should add a second truck. Maybe you've paid off your first one. Maybe you've got more freight than you can cover. But growth without systems? It doesn't multiply your money, it multiplies your problems. Before you add a truck, ask yourself, do I have a dispatch system that works under pressure? Do I trust someone else behind the wheel of my investment? Am I ready to take care of someone else's paycheck when freight slows? A second truck is not a promotion. It's a test. And if you haven't passed year one solo, you're not ready for a fleet yet. Some folks get in, grind smart, save aggressively, and step out in 3 to 5 years with cash and clarity. Others expand, build fleets, hire ops teams, start brokering loads themselves. Some pivot into dispatch services, some lease their trucks and go hands-off. The point is, there's no single finish line. But if you don't plan the exit while you're building the business will eventually run you. And that's not freedom. That's a trap. Starting a trucking business in 2025 is easier than ever on paper and harder than ever in practice. Because now it's not about just getting loads. It's about getting lean, staying sharp, and adapting fast. The ones who make it don't chase the biggest checks. They chase consistency, and they treat trucking like what it is, a business with wheels. This is daily logistics, and if this hit home for you, like it. Comment your first trucking win or hard lesson, and subscribe for more raw truths from the road. Stay calculated, stay independent, and keep it daily.